Alright, here we are. Xavi versus Schulzer, Game 3, semifinals. Meaning whoever wins today enters the finals. Our commentators today will be Naestriel and Zaid. How are you guys doing?
Can't complain here. Thank you for having us.
Yes, I'm very well, thank you. Thank you. And I think we're delayed like just a few minutes, but Schulzer should be ready soon. So. Yeah. Okay, cool. And we have a Saria's song and as a start and a spirit medallion start. So we will. I think I will expect both runners to do what they did last seed and probably go upriver and get some hints. But we'll see when that starts.
Indeed, you never know. Personally, I base it on what are my path counts are if I go upriver or not, but on the bright side, regardless, we do not have any issues accessing Forest Temple entrance and the Minuet song for this seed.
No. And yeah. So, and if anyone wants any background on the other games, on the other matches, I think the first match, Schulzer was very unlucky to lose that match. He bought a hint that cost him in the end, and the last seed is up on the Silver Gauntlets. Should be up on the videos. I might not spoil that for people, but that was a very interesting seed if you haven't seen it. So Schulzer won that one. So
Well, I'll ever so slightly spoil it just to poke a little bit of fun at the runners because
apart
both of
from
them.
apart from telling people who won, but yeah.
But we'll see if we
If
see
they're
another
interested
bomb
in how it
dagger
played
in
out.
river.
Yeah.
And we'll see if our
But I mean,
runners, if they go upriver, have improved their tactics for getting that freestanding piece, or normally a piece of heart, but in last seed, a bomb bag.
yeah, I do find I mean that's another reason I just don't like going up rivers sometimes early is just because I find if you miss that jump early on, it just doesn't settle you at all. So
Oh, yes, it just,
it's just that
you get
with both
easily get
runners.
tilted.
Yeah, I'm worrying about your
Oh,
time of day and all that.
and we have a Schulzer.
Yeah. Yep, and he's remembered the settings, so he can't be disqualified. So I think we'll be very good to go soon. But yeah, I agree with Naestriel. Usually I do check it. Going upriver does depend on the path hints, but I would maybe expect that to happen this time round. So yeah, it is also dependent on what numbers you get.
And who knows, every once in a while, people will meta off of the last round or just have an idea in their head and say, hey, I want to take this route. Well, could see an early child route. I don't expect anyone
Yeah,
to go straight child, but you never know.
yeah, you never know. Yeah, that can happen. So I think Cola was doing a lot of early trial plays instantly in the early rounds, but actually stopped doing it in later rounds, from what I'd observed. So yes, it could be something different.
Would make sense. And Cola, another one of our semifinalists, they had their Cola versus Nath. They had their first game yesterday and their next game tomorrow, which we will be restreaming here. Oh, and the timer is off. So here we go.
Okay, awesome.
Any immediate child runners? Oh, maybe.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Xavi going straight for it.
Yeah. That's a good call.
And we have for path
What's-
counts 9, 4, 12. Death Mountain Crater to Wisdom. Okay, so we have Xavi getting the same information right now, and then just immediate different in routes. No immediate river this time for Schulzer either, so both diverting from their routes last seed.
Okay, that's very yeah. So
Xavi is, however, going straight for a bunch of hints. Hyrule Castle for 2 quick hints.
I feel this is a good hint to get. This is one I often orphan, and I don't know. I just sort of like, I just don't want to do it. But I don't know if he'll get the other one. But yeah, he's just going to
Clearly not. Don't let me talk about things. But indeed, as Virgil noted in chat, fire is foolish. And indeed, as noted by Mage, immediate Schulzer going to Man on Roof and getting
Oh, yeah.
rewarded with a Din's Fire from Man on Roof.
I believe one of the problems with the other hint is that it fucks up time of day for London range.
This is true. You should have enough time, but beyond that, it might make it more difficult to go back and get into Castle.
And we have a SFM to Wisdom. Just that's in Kakariko. Schultz are picking up some money, so he might be able to get a shield. But he is the sort of player who might not get a shield.
Indeed, and he has it for later. He has it for the Scrubs and Lon Lon Minuet from the Windmill, so I would argue Schultz are being rewarded for going adult early because he won't have to walk there as a child. But otherwise, very standard openings. Very standard CAC from Schulzer, Xavi going child immediately, and straight to Lon Lon Ranch. An extra superfluous Deku shield for Xavi off of Man on Roof. And I'm afraid I didn't see the item that was in the CAC house.
There's nothing. But Schultz has played Minuet straight away, so he hasn't checked the Skull House, I believe. We haven't got 20 skulls.
Correct. And we have a Serenade off of Lon Lon Ranch, so nothing required, but certainly useful, especially getting back to adult with an early child.
Minuet Bolero, so another song for Schulzer here?
Yeah, he got Bolero from Meadow, and he also got Goron City Foolish Hint, so...
What I'm trying to say is that it will reward and staying adult more.
Oh, that was a spicy unlock hint, though. If I read it correctly, that said Slingshot to Lens of Truth.
And we also have a Fortress to Wisdom hint, so...
Does that mean... a question, does that mean that Lens of Truth is logically required for a piece?
Yes. So, could be treasure chest game, could be crossing the desert. And yes, it was SFM to power off of the Kokiri Forest hint without needing the Song of Storms. We also had a wallet that Xavi's about to get and Schulzer just got inside of Mido's house. So no problem being able to afford the shop hints this game.
But the thing with the slingshot is that can mean Lost Woods, but it can also mean DC in these settings because it's an entrance shuffle. It's very unlikely to mean anything to do with Gomer, and it could mean Spirit Temple, so those kind of things.
Indeed, and we have Epona's off of the Bolero song check. Mm-hmm. So we have access to GTG, no access to Spirit Temple. Well, I shouldn't say Spirit Temple. Spirit Temple entrance. We do have access to Spirit Temple, which is apparently in Fire Temple. also means that we have a fair chance that we have a Bolero being on the path to at least one of our pieces, because often with Spirit and Fire, I've found that you have Bolero on your path to be able to access something in Spirit Temple or to access the desert via Spirit Temple.
Could the slingshot be for Child Spirit?
Very much
Yes,
could
it
be.
can be for, that's the other. Yeah, so it can be for Child Spirit, it can be for the Lost Woods shooting game, but also because of the DC. If DC is in the Jabu, is in Jabu Jabu's belly, then it could be required for that. Because it's only child accessible at that point. It would
As
be
noted
very
in the chat,
unlikely to
thank
be
you,
required for
Verdadante.
Wingoma. So yeah.
We have Song of Time off of the Saria song check. So less likely to have GTG shenanigans of just something on a right chest of the maze and a crazy long path to get Song of Time. Goron City being foolish, that was seen earlier. Ignore me for that one.
No, it's fine. I think it's good to repeat as well. So yeah, the early routings definitely favour Schulzer, but Xavi will be able to. He'll do his Adol and get Minuet and all that, and Bolero.
And indeed,
So I
echoing
think-
the Silver Gauntlets and Hell Knight on that comment, ELA. Dankeschön so much for all you do.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just thank you for like creating this game mode. It's just like, yeah, that's opponents to strength. We have.
And Epona's being Path makes sense because we found Epona's in Path Crater.
So I would expect Schulzer to either bow hint, because he. No, I mean, Javi will get the opponents at some point, but before, when he gets back to market, I'd expect him to get the bow hint because of the fortress.
Makes sense. It always feels bad going to Fortress without a bow.
Yeah.
Wait, are we talking about the strength upgrade here? For Epona?
So we have an unlock hint, Epona's 2 strength, so we don't know if it's strength 1, 2, or 3.
Schulzer's doing, I guess. Okay, we'll find out.
Looks like just Lon Lon.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was. I felt he was. For some reason, it looked like he was back walking towards Lake, but no.
Yep. And Xavi taking advantage of having that wallet. We're gonna see at least one shop hint here. $190, so be able to buy a shield and get a bomb bag hint, along with the wallet hint just to see if it's neglected.
Yeah. I think at this point we're not having any hammer or bomb bag. It would make sense to get that kind of hint. The neglected wallet.
And we know our path item in Fortress.
Ah, it's a bomb bag. Okay.
And Spirit has a neglected scale. Also, our wallet from Kokiri Forest was neglected. I do think Xavi was counting his money and might have been hoping that he had enough for the bow hint. He definitely hovered over it for a second.
Also, another thing we should mention about, in case people don't know, is that there is a path priority here. So while it's likely that the bomb bag is obviously the path item in Judo Fortress, there could also be another item there, as in the shop hints will not. Hint stones will prioritize a different item. If that's correct, if I explain that correct, or
Yes. However, the one thing that I would note on that, just to be very particular, is that is path priority for each reward. So if you have a shop hinted item for our wisdom, which is a 4 count, you may or may not, that priority only counts for wisdom. Power and courage have their own path priority.
Okay.
And inside Ganon's castle is a Wanderer bow. It's a little interesting. Which dungeon is the game expecting us to complete
Well, yeah,
so that
especially with
we
that bomb
can
gun.
get our bomb bag?
Yeah.
Potentially. Bomb bag could be just on the roof of Fortress, in which
Exactly.
case maybe there's hookshot or hover somewhere. Meanwhile, Schulzer is getting a lot of the information shortly that Xavi just got from the shop hints after getting their serenade from Lon Lon Ranch. And Xavi will be tracing over what Schulzer was doing in their first adult. Small chance of some diversion on the shop hints, but I wouldn't expect it this early.
So I think it's the 2 hit we got. We've got 2 meadow hits, haven't we? 1 for power and 1 for wisdom, if I'm correct.
I do believe so. And we have a
One is
Song
Song
of
of Time.
Time. Yep. And a
Bolero,
Bolero.
you say?
Yes.
The Bolero is interesting. It's just, yes, as you said, Spirit Temple.
And Bolero
also
so far has also gotten us our only logical way of getting Eponas, which we know is path.
Yeah, so it could just be for the song as well. And we're going to see the other hint in Hyrule Castle.
Indeed.
I always feel...
Sorry. Oh, sorry.
Go on, go on.
I was just going to apologize to everyone reading the chat. And yes, our bot is currently on hiatus. We are working on it, we swear. But for the moment, we, per the bot, have no trackers. We definitely do. We have our lovely, let me pull it up so that I make sure that I don't mess up any of these names. Thank you so much, Mage26 for tracking, Purple for tracking, and Virgil Dante for tracking. Your time is always so appreciated. Dankeschön.
And Schulzer missed the jump, so he will not be getting that second hint in Castle.
Nothing on Richard the Dog, and Xavi just got the bad news that Minuet was easily available if you don't go Child 1 immediately.
Yeah. He's
Time
also
of
got,
day
I'm surprised
is... Oh.
he didn't to go upriver, actually, considering that the time of day is not...
Indeed, and therefore Adult Andrew for Xavi is a mystery. We know it's nothing, but
Yeah.
Gerudo Valley to Wisdom, oh my. And that was a hint from the back of Lake.
Yeah. And it makes sense for Schulzer to do this for time of day, so... Didn't see Graveyard either from Schulzer, so this is some new location.
And Graveyard has a bottle for us, so we potentially have some skips to get to Ice Cavern. Think we still need a ZL, though. It has eluded us so far. And we're actually seeing a Dompe race with counts in the middle like this. I've definitely seen it both ways.
I'm actually okay with this because if you don't get Nocturne in those early song checks and now you're engraved, I would do it. If I'd had Nocturne, I would skip it, but 15 minutes in, they've got 4 songs and no Nocturne, it makes sense to do this.
For sure. And if you get Bomb Choose or something, all of a sudden you feel at least way ahead.
Yeah.
Child Lake didn't see anything that paid out, though, for Schulzer.
Apart from a Gerudo Valley hint, which I think is a very nice one to get.
Indeed. And nothing off of Dampe. Curse you, Dampe! Someday you'll pay up.
Those are
Blue fire arrows are on Mage. And 100% on the Valley hint. My apologies. I should have said no items out of
yeah, absolutely.
Child
Yeah,
Lake.
we understand that, but yeah, the Valley hint was very nice. What was the other? I did miss the other hint in Lake because my screen went.
I'm afraid I missed it. I did just see that OOT teaches Sun Song, and sadly I must agree with Death King. Blue fire arrows cannot give you fire arrow entry, and also of note with the recent announcement for the main tournament that fire arrow entry will be allowed for Season 9. For Triforce Blitz in this tournament, it is not allowed, so you still do need Din's Fire, not only logically, but also to not break the rules to get into Shadow Temple entrance. And good to know that we did not see the second back of Lake again. Dankeschön, Virgil.
I'm interested to see what we find in Valley. Something useful that we can use now, or something for later.
Indeed. In the meantime, both of our runners do know that Spirit Temple is inside of Fire Temple entrance, and Xavi is about to get the same back of Lake hint. This should be Gerudo Valley is Path to Wisdom, indeed. And he will be showing us the other hint.
Oh yes, because yeah, Schulzer did the fishing. And it's a hook shot, so that may be our Ganon's access.
Very well could be.
It's good that Xavi got it because he will most likely head that way when he goes back child. When he finishes this.
Spirit Temple to power as well. Okay. There's potentially that slingshot path.
So the interesting thing here is we have our wisdom is 4. We have 4 locations for wisdom, which are Crater, Meadow, Fortress, and Valley. And so that will put the hook shot, potentially Bolero, potentially Aponas for sure, and hook shot and Bombad. Makes sense, yeah.
Indeed. Honestly, I would be suspicious that it's not even Bolero, it's Song of Time for the Wisdom, because with the hookshot being Sphere 0, you don't need Bolero to get opponents.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. We don't. Well, yeah, unless strengths are locked in some way, or...
For sure.
But yeah, it could be the GTG potentially.
That would be my guess based on the 4 items, but we shall see. In the meantime, Schulzer filling out their last... Oh no, getting a shield! We have our first person buying shield, almost making the mistake I've made, which is if you buy the shield and walk away too quickly, you can get out of range of the merchant, and if you leave the shop, it will forget that you bought the shield entirely. Fortunately, Schulzer is a better runner than me, realized that before leaving, and walked back towards the merchant.
I don't think I've ever tried that, so yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Indeed. I'm not sure exactly what causes it, but there's sometimes a slight delay after you buy the shield, and if you walk away during that delay and get out of range, you don't get a shield.
I mean, I think you're both. The fact that you both do that means you're both better runners than me because you're trying to at least you're even trying to time save on your shield buying. Then obviously, it can cost you, but not something I considered.
I'm not sure about a better runner, but I agree with Purple in a weird bug for this game. Yeah, never would happen. Impossible. In the meantime, well, so much for an easy dungeon completion off of the Forest Temple entrance. We have Water Temple inside of Forest Temple entrance.
That's not nice. I was expecting something different, but there is still the. I mean, it's very possible that the item in Fortress isn't backlogged, but we'll see.
For sure.
We haven't seen the DC entrance, which could just be Deku Tree at this point.
If it were DC and Fortress, the roof of Fortress. Oh, I think we have a double path spirit. Apology. Oh no. That was the second spirit path. It was just Xavi had not seen the Gerudo Valley yet. We don't have yet double path spirit. My mistake. Whenever I see a third path to an item, it always sets me off.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep track of where these hints are so we can just be...
Dankeschön, Virgil Dante. I shall defer to your massive wisdom. And indeed...
Yeah, if chat is... Yeah, that's brilliant. We can keep... So we don't end up with phantom things that we think are double paths. Actually not.
But we have two very rich runners getting their money in different ways. I believe Xavia's by and large filled out the right side shop. Is it the bazaar? So now going to the potion shop and potentially getting one of our 200 hints. A strength 2, perhaps?
Yeah, strength 2 would make sense, and then you'll just find the... well, obviously, if you're going to get strength 2, you'll get strength 1. He's not decided.
Indeed, a bit of indecision there. Market has a path strength 1.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That technically could be our unlock hinted strength. We have Epona's leads to strength, so if it's on Big Pose, that is a possibility.
Schulzer isn't caring about... Yeah, he's going straight to Fortress to see if this is just on the roof. I think this is...
Makes sense, especially with the hookshot having access to Epona's as well. I am suspicious that it is, but I don't know that. Oh, and as Purple pointed out in the chat, indeed, we do have a lens path, so could be on Treasure Chest Game. And
also, as Naestriel pointed out about the Colossus access, because we know Spirit is in the Fire Temple, lens doesn't necessarily automatically mean Colossus access, because, as he pointed out, that we can get to Colossus via Spirit Temple. That could be another possibility. So market could be something. Market lens game for lens.
We will definitely be getting some good info here soon. Honestly, I'm a little surprised Schulzer didn't get grabbed by the guards to be able to peek the upper chest very easily, but I trust Schulzer's routing more than my own, so hoping to learn something here, to be honest.
It's possible that strength is unlocked at this point. Which means Bolero could still be on the path for wisdoms, but I think we'll find out soon enough what's going on.
And Purple, yes, you want to check inside of GTG for some items, however, the entrance is always GTG. We do have the limited dungeon entrance randomizer here for Triforce Blitz. So GTG, Bottom of the Well, and Ice Cavern are always vanilla entrances. Then of the child dungeons, those entrances are randomized. So Deku, DC, and Jabu are randomized among themselves. And same for the adult entrances: forest, fire, water, shadow, and spirit. It looks like I didn't see Schulzer peek the chest at all, so I think they just straight up assumed that Bombag was up on roof, and for the moment, that looks good. And indeed, we have Bombag on the roof, not Epona's locked. Well, Epona's locked in the sense you have to get here, but not Epona's locked and bow locked on HBA, at least, I should say.
Do you feel that Schultz was getting chews here? Not that you would need them, but like just crossing and then coming back for GTG?
Honestly, I expect a full cross, not going for choose after getting a Bombag, but we'll see.
Would you have maybe done a bit of the early GTG?
I definitely would have. I'm definitely also, with Song of Time, I'm still very suspicious Wisdom is just sitting in GTG. I could be wrong.
Yeah, that's what I feel. Whether it's the Song of Time or the Bolero, I think it would still be GTG would be the right thing. He's just
Indeed, saying something is behind bombs isn't saying much. As Zaid pointed out, it was at least in part to buy the choose, and if you're here, you can buy the choose. If you ever find DC, you have easy access to the boss thereafter, plus a few other areas you can use the choose, most notably logically required for the spirit trial too.
Especially if Bubbo is actually in that chest. So it makes complete sense to get them.
Indeed. And it could very well just be that Spirit Temple still has wisdom, because I am focusing on the Song of Time. I like the idea, but Epona's into Bombag, you need a hook shot for it, and Bolero also still perfectly fits.
Oh yeah, I think I would have peaked I would have been peaking that Song of Time back if I was Schulzer.
And agreed, Purple, in that you probably don't need it, but you never know, because if that Wanderer bow is Spirit Trial 2 itself, you can't use the bow to get to the location that has your bow, so that would be most unfortunate if you don't have choose and go to Ganon's. Yeah, but then you don't need it? I'm not sure I follow you on that one, Purple, because you might need a bow elsewhere. And thank you, Virgil Dante, keeping at least me on track. Inside of Spirit Temple entrance, we have Shadow Temple, and we finally found ZL, which is across the desert.
And we have a DC as Foolish. That is a very nice hit.
Indeed. All of a sudden having those choose if we do find DC, considering neither person has checked the DC entrance to my knowledge, saves a good amount of time.
And that eliminates the slingshot being anything for Dongo's Cavern. Unless it would be, depending on the song locations or what Burning Cack is.
Indeed, and I don't believe either of our runners have looked at our dungeons yet.
No.
In the meantime, Xavi did get their bomb bag, and instead of taking Schulzer's route of just straight crossing the desert, is exploring GTG. So we'll see if we do have a wisdom piece or something else here in GTG.
Long shot.
Oh my. So with the long shot, if we do find our path lens, we do have desert crossing in logic, and currently depending on the key layout and spirit, that could be our only way of getting ZL.
Yeah. So with ZL
But agreed,
being...
Purple. Agreed that, excuse me. All ways of getting ZL are locked by Epona, for sure, with the bomb bag being where it is. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, Zaid. We also have, as noted in chat, a strength in GTG, and it was a boomerang in Shadow.
So that strength is the strength 2, as far as we know, and what was I going to say? Yes, with ZL being in Colossus, it does put that lens as the crossing, most likely.
I'm still not 100% on the crossing, especially with our strength in market. But we shall see. Hopefully one of our runners in the not too distant future will show us what's on Bomb 2 Bowling. Schulzer cleaning up Path SFM, seeing if there's an item here as well as 2 potentially Path songs.
It is.
Never mind. Can we put that back, please? Always hate seeing a big chest and finding out that it's paperweight.
So I am thinking maybe Schultz. The reason for not doing GTG might be he doesn't want to go back without the bow. He wants to go back when he gets the bow. Makes sense.
Indeed. Although Schulzer is choosing to not cross, so will not have ZL for a bit. However, may be able to go into Child Spirit, I would think, and get a faster crossing that way. Unfortunately, they are running out of time. Fortunately, they have choose to barely be able to get into this grotto in DMC. Good recognition by Schulzer that they needed to use the choose there.
GTG to power as well.
Indeed.
Which was the long shot so far. And the strength. We have a strength as well. So strength and long shot. The strength is behind Song of Time. So...
And Dankeschön for the subscription, as always, Purple. 66 months, my goodness. Also, that unlock hint, I'm not sure I saw, but it was a strength upgrade to something. Strength to hovers. Thank you very much, Virgil Dante.
So in terms of information, Schultz is yet to buy any strength hints. I'd imagine Xavi will clear some of the shadow, and then when he goes back as child, knows that strength 1 is in market. So interesting to see if Schulzer actually buys the strength 1 hint.
Indeed, and I apologize. I misspoke earlier. For some reason in my head, Schulzer was the one who explored GTG. I am very mistaken on that. So now both of our runners have ZL. Xavi has the long shot and strength from GTG.
Thank you, Virgil, for putting these path hints, because it's there's a lot to take in, and I think chat would really like to know what's going on and try and figure it out.
For sure. In the meantime, we look to be able to see the Dodongo's Cavern entrance here in a moment from Schulzer. Meanwhile, Xavi is about to get their boomerang from Shadow Temple. Well, we do have a boomerang for Jabu being in our Dodongo's Cavern.
So Xavi can beat Morpher with that long shot as well, which we know is in Forest Entrance. I think
This
he's
is
just about
true.
to do that, yeah.
It does look like we have Wanderer. Well, I shouldn't say that. Right now, defeating Morpha with the long shot is our only logical way to access Ganon's castle. I was about to say we could go into Jabu, but we're missing a lens of truth and magic to be able to do that logically.
Oh, he was just checking the entrance. Okay. No, yeah, now he's realised. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I mean, we could do Jabu, but the logical one is the water one at the moment.
Indeed. And in the meantime, from Schulzer, going into Path Spirit, at least as a child, this will also give us information on if Lens of Truth is required for the crossing or not.
So I think with the news, with the settings for the Dungeon Entrance Randomizer, I think it's not always easy to know what how many steps your Ganon's access is.
For sure.
Because at this point, I guess we're putting it at, considering where we found Strength 1 and where the bow is, there's no way to access Crater without Bolero, if I'm correct.
So you also have the hook shot to be able to get there as an adult, but as a child, correct, you need Bolero to be able to enter Spirit as a child.
No, but even as an adult, we don't have the strength without get rid of Link the Goron.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, Spirit Temple is Strength 2 lock to go deeper in it, although we have 2 large chests on the child side. Apologies to Schulzer. Few F's in the chat for the Stalfos giving him a hard time in front of the drop bridge in Spirit Temple. In the meantime, Xavi is going child, potentially going straight there, but looks like first we're going to see some Bombchu bowling, which I don't hate.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. It's gonna, I mean, bet for the strength 2 and guess go back as adult and take Ganon's castle. I don't know.
Schulzer getting that drop bridge down with the boomerang. It was giving him a hard time always going to the left. He finally just aimed it to the right and it still went to the left. So fantastic. We have iron boots inside of Spirit Temple as a reward.
That is interesting because that can mean whatever is in Lake, whatever the entrance is for Water Temple, or it could just mean for Water Temple.
Indeed. Meanwhile, Xavi did find the Strength 2, or Strength 1 as far as the shop hints are concerned, from Bombchu Bowling.
Oh yeah, Strength 1.
And the second large chest in Child Spirit was our Neglected Scale, so good to have, but unfortunately not going to progress any of the paths.
There's a bow down there.
It looked like it, and indeed, I assume Schulzer saw that earlier, because I believe
Yeah,
they
I didn't see
did.
that.
I missed it as well, but I know that they were in the area, or at least I'm pretty sure it was Schulzer that was in the area.
Schulzer did it as child, and Xavi did the lake hints as adult, if I remember correctly.
But all of a sudden, that scale saves an early trip to Ganon's castle just to get the bow. Not to mention needing the dungeon completion for it. Also, a little bit of fancy tech on Xavi's side, throwing a bomb into the keys to kill both the keys that hang on the wall. Haven't seen it before, but it's nice.
Actually, I very much dislike this room. I find it very ugly. Well, the way I play it is very ugly, but just in general.
I don't believe that for a second, and indeed. So Virgil Dante, that particular bow, yes, is neglected, so the playthrough does not pick up that bow. However, we have the shop hint that bow is Wanderer from inside Ganon's castle. So the playthrough thought it was easier to go into Ganon's castle, grab the bow in there, than to grab the bow off of Lake Kalia and getting it as a child from Spirit, or getting the scale as a child from Spirit.
I mean, it also explains Schulzer not necessarily being so concerned with getting Ganon's access, because he could have done it as the Jabu, and if he knew that bow was there, then that's makes sense.
Indeed. Also, going back a little bit, we do still have the 2 SFM paths, and yes, as noted in the chat, Xavi is not grabbing the bow. I don't think they've seen it. I don't think they did child fishing or peeked the Rudo's Letter vanilla location.
No, Xavi did lake hints as adult, and Schulzer did them as child, so Xavi just doesn't know there's a bow there.
We do have a quick high five, though, here at the Boulder of Destiny. We literally are watching the same runner, I swear, just with different skins. But going back to what I was...
getting money in the same spots, so...
We do have the strength off of GTG, which was on the Song of Time block side of the maze, and GTG being path, so with SFM being double path and the item in SFM being nothing, we know that both Bolero and Song of Time are path. We just don't necessarily know to which items. But it does look like our path item is just the strength off of GTG, with path priority, first prioritizing dungeons, and then prioritizing overworld. And indeed, agreeing with Virgil Dante on Song of Time locks the strength, Bolero locks the horse. Bolero does not lock the horse currently. It does lock our iron boots at the moment, but we have a hookshot from Gerudo Valley that allows us to get the horse without Bolero. Well, if you can get there. I may be lying on that. You may be correct, Virgil Dante.
No, I think it still locks the horse, because we can't get to can't defeat Link the Goron without at least a strength, a bow, and a bomb bag, and we know that the strengths are behind the bomb bag at this point, I think. Or is that not right?
So far, yes. Bomb-Chew Bowling definitely is, and the other one, it's behind the horse, not necessarily the bomb bag. Oh, it is... You could use the hookshot to get around it, so it's not directly behind the bomb bag. However, the Chew Bowling one definitely is. Save scumming is time-honored pastime for everything. But I come from multi-world, where also getting items and save scumming your rupees from shops also can definitely be very useful. We did see a confirmation that GTG has our pass strength 2. And it looks like Schulzer is about to find their strength 1 as they have not been into GTG. In the meantime, for Xavi being our first to explore Ganon's castle and looking for their bow, we haven't seen it yet, but all we've seen so far is Spirit Trial. Correction, and now Forest Trial.
Yeah, we still have which X you can get right now.
It's also convenient while Xavi's here. I would expect to pick up some blue fire, but I could be mistaken on that.
Oh, I think I would be doing the same. And that's one piece, that's wisdom. So it is 4 steps to get to... that's the Ganon's access is 4 steps.
Indeed. And we certainly don't need Song of Time for that, so that means Song of Time is in particular on our path to power.
Exactly, yeah. So it would have been Bolero, Bombag, known as...
We also still have a lot of unlock hints, so all of a sudden we're getting a good amount of information because we're already up to 7 path items to be able to get 2 strengths. And we still haven't used our slingshot, our lens, or our hovers that are from our unlocks. Meanwhile, Schulzer showing us that we have Forest Temple inside of the Water Temple entrance.
And my feeling is that... be wrong, but... these ions mean more for Water Temple than Forest? I could be wrong, though. Just because
but
of
it
how
very
it's
well
confused.
could be.
Yeah.
And
ZL
indeed,
might
bow
lock
on
all-
validation chest.
ZL might lock all the ways that, especially as we saw no keys child side spirit, ZL is locking keys and spirit so that you can't really get to Colossal Spire spirit. That's just my thinking. I would be more inclined to use those irons for Water Temple than Forest Temple access.
I would believe
could
it. To my oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, go on, go on.
And to my knowledge, we only have 3 Foolishes so far. We have 1 Overworld Foolish in those, so at most we have 1 Foolish dungeon left. So the odds of Water Temple having something in it, I would say, are pretty high.
But it could be that, because what were the counts? The counts were 9, 4, 12. It could be that one is... We've got no courage hints, right, so far. It could be that one isn't for us. Maybe the ZL is for something in... I don't know. Courage is... We don't really have information on courage. We know it's somewhere and it's involved with all the other paths. But nothing that's concrete on what courage is.
Indeed. And honestly, we're not sure how deep in logic our iron boots are as well, because we got them using a boomerang out of Shadow Temple, which is out of logic.
Exactly, yeah. At this point, we're assuming that it's the slingshot for child spirit. So...
But we have Xavi clearing spirit, seeing if there's anything else path in here. Meanwhile, Schulzer is on their way back to GTG to grab the Strength 2 that they unfortunately skipped on their first pass through. And indeed, 2 small keys on the adult side, excuse me, of Spirit Temple, 0 on child side.
Which confirms that, yeah, the keys are CL lords.
On Schulzer's side, we do get to see our first bow checks inside of GTG, though, because these were skipped by Xavi as they did not have a bow while they were here.
I think this makes sense. I think Schulzer deliberately held this off until he had a bow.
Agreed. We have another big chest and Spirit Temple on the hand. Schulzer getting their long shot. Second wallet is probably not path, with first wallet being neglected. But at least one more big chest here in Spirit.
Yeah, we know that, well, 2 big chests, and yeah, we know strength 2 is path, so yeah, this is a very good chance of being something. Magic?
Magic out of Spirit.
Bottle.
Also, Schulzer just got their strength 2, and I had missed it while Xavi was there. We do have a big chest in the center of GTG maze, which always has interesting logical potential with Toilet.
I'm not sure if I can't remember if Xavi peaked that.
I
again,
would
that
assume
case-
so because he got the strength, but it is an assumption.
Okay. Yeah, the strength 2 can also be for that, so I'd expect Schulzer just to be full clearing this now. And a seed where you kind of everything kind of points towards Spirit Temple, and you're the deeper you go into Spirit Temple, not finding your piece or something, you're like, oh no.
Indeed. We also have 4 keys in Spirit, and about to see 2 more checks.
Yeah, that's right, Virgil. We don't really have any concrete information on what courage. We know that it's involving items from elsewhere, but you can't really make a.
And perfect.
Yeah,
Thank
have
you,
at least
Purple,
just
for
one or two
mentioning
things.
that Xavi skipped a key, so we do know all 5 key locations.
This is a really nice play from Xavi.
Just having that effective Requiem as an adult, agreed.
Yeah.
Great foresight. Hopefully they won't want to use it in a dungeon in the near future. Almost perfect timing on that bomb. Unfortunately, the tree got in his way. My heart bleeds for how much preparation he put into that, and the tree just ruined all of it.
But I think there's a good chance we find. Could be that hover boots are in. Obviously, we did find a path strength with path long shot and not path long shot. We found a long shot in ETG, but it's a good chance there's also hover boots. sitting around
It's
here.
definitely possible. I expect that the path item we have hinted is just the strength, but we do have a big chest, and it's a mirror shield.
Shield.
So mirror shield in path GTG to power.
And that's up here. So far we have strength, long shot, and mirror shield. And we know the strength
My money is...
definitely.
Yep. But we are still missing up to 3 path hints, and we have another big chest. GTG is loaded.
And another bottle.
Well, we have the non-useful bottle percent. We still don't know where our Rudos is, but we have all 3 other bottles.
Is...
Also, my condolences to Sadie. I'm pretty sure there was nothing on Wasteland Chest. Okay, I was curious, Mage, if Schulzer skipped the like room, because we are exceptionally low on keys.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I wasn't sure, and I think he did. I think he's going to have to go back.
Looks like we are going to be seeing a toilet play, though.
Yeah, I think he'd rather do toilet than do this. Get 4 easy checks in in the strength room.
We might... he might have just remembered.
Yeah, I think so.
And in the meantime, Xavi is joining him, and again, we're going to have a high five here in a moment. Xavi will need to spend a bit of time getting the bow checks out of the way that Schulzer has already done. And indeed, Purple. I feel like I did the same thing that Schulzer did I only have 3 small keys and I'm done with the dungeon except for toilet. What's going on? Toilet in the maze, I should say. And hello, Raiders! Dankeschön for the raid, Okishi, and welcome! We are running Triforce Blitz here. Xavi beats Schulzer for semifinals. Game 3, winner moves to the finals. Loser is unfortunately out of this tournament. Currently, we have 1 piece found, specifically by Xavi, so they are currently winning, so to speak. But that could always change. For Triforce Blitz, it's whoever finds 3 pieces first. Also, we just found a yes, Slingshot, and we know Slingshot is path because it's a part of our unlocks.
Which is the path to Lens. So Slingshot is the path to get the ZL. Imagine.
And that is definitely available. We definitely have 2 strengths, hookshot, and GTG access. I therefore, because we have SFM path to power, we have another GTG path somewhere. Neither of our runners has seen it, but we have another GTG path with both sling and strength in there.
Hear me out here. Do we? I mean, I haven't been counting paths, but I'm just trying to do some stuff in my head. Like arrows. Are we even like? Could this just be market lens? Like we have.
It very much could be. Also, just to divert for a second, the large chest in the center of GTG was unfortunately light arrows, so that's a bit unfortunate for just everyone. But sorry, please continue.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering if like this whole thing is just for Lens treasure chest game, but I don't know. I haven't really been counting the. I'll get my tracker out and start trying to figure out some stuff.
And my tracker that I have going currently, and with the help of our trackers, thank you so much. We currently have 8 paths that I'm aware of. Well, we've seen 7 paths, and then as I had mentioned, we know GTG is a double path due to finding both a strength and a sling in there, so using that we have 8 paths. But agreed, Purple, nothing is pointing to market currently. We know that we had the path strengthen market, but that was on Bombshoe Bowling. And because Child Side of Spirit had no small keys, we do know that ZL is locked behind Lens of Truth unless we find a Requiem all of a sudden, which is missing at this point. In the meantime, Schulzer completing Water Temple, so now Schulzer has access to Ganon's castle and therefore access to the Wisdom piece.
Mhm.
And okay, it looks like Virgil Dante is siding with you, Zaid, on Market has an item. I'm still thinking that it's just
I'm not
crossing
sure.
the desert, but we shall
I,
see.
I'm not sure yet because I'm just sort of putting it into my tracker and trying to think. But I think Schultz is going for Water Temple.
Indeed, definitely doing more than just clearing it.
And if it is Water Temple, this is what he believes is the courage piece. If he thinks there is something here. Or if CL's not required, it could potentially be the just the power piece.
And indeed, Virgil Dante, Xavi getting baited by the light arrows in there. And hello, Ramon, Dankeschön. Yes, we have taken over for the comms of this one. So apologies that you have to put up at least with me. Fortunately, you also have Zaid to keep you sane, but
no, I
Dankeschön.
I think your voice is definitely much better. So you're doing amazing. So okay, we have 2 different iron boots ideas, and I feel like both are very reasonable at this point.
We also see Xavi now finding out that Water Temple entrance has Forest Temple and choosing to go in it, whereas I believe Schulzer already checked it and just said, nope, I'm good. Also, interestingly for power, if we look at the slingshot, no, for power, it can't be in here. It would be too long. So to my knowledge, we can't find power here in Forest. Courage, it depends on where our lens is for that crossing.
Yeah, because we don't have any. I mean, it's really hard to just decide to do like Lost Woods shooting just to confirm stuff. But if it's for no, but we know it's not in DC. Oh no, we know the slingshot's no. The slingshot is definitely for at this point it's definitely for Spirit Temple. That's for sure.
If our iron boots are path, then yes.
Yeah, if iron's a path, then the power can definitely be in Forest Temple. Because it would be 2 strengths, Song of Time, Slingshot, and Irons. Added to the 4 the Bolero, Hookshot.
Okay, yes. So I'm talking myself in
definitely be
circles. Thank you again for keeping me straight.
Because I was actually unsure at first, but I've just been counting it now, and it could just definitely be in. Yeah, power can definitely be in Forest Temple right now.
Slingshot for DC isn't quite outright purple. Well, DC, we have no access currently, but it is possible for the dungeon reward. So it would be specifically if we needed that dungeon reward for something. As Virgil Dante noted, DC is foolish, so it won't be for an item in there. But it's definitely a long shot theory. And we do see Schulzer finding a big chest, specifically on the eye chest is what I call it, but requiring either long shot or hover boots.
Also, we have to remember that hover boots is also on our path, which I keep forgetting, but it's on our path somewhere.
Indeed, although we have long shot readily available, so it's not for this chest at least. But agreed, definitely bow locked in water as well.
And they've both seen it. Both runners know that strength unlocks hovers.
And agreed, Purple. Yes, we always have to theorycraft the worst possible, so thank you for doing so. I'm still hoping for our runner's sake that it's not true, though. So far, not much going on in Forest Temple, and we're about to find out what the big chest here is in Water Temple. A Kokiri sword. Well, that DC idea is getting more intriguing.
Both runners haven't. They have shown us the meds. Okay.
Also, I believe logically with the entrance randomizer, specifically because we found the Kokiri sword instead of Rudo's letter, if it were for that, it could not be in Deku entrance where Slingshot was required, because you could open up Kokiri sword or Deku entrance as a child, then go back as an adult and therefore avoid the need for the Slingshot. Still only a 50-50 at this point that DC is in Deku Tree for any of that to matter, though.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, that's just in general. Like, obviously, we know for this seed that DC's foolish, but Slingshot for DC only matters when it's in Jabu Jabu, basically.
Schulzer headed off to Ganon's castle for the first time on their end, which means they will be getting wisdom here in a moment and quote-unquote tying up the Triforce piece count. Meanwhile, Xavi, continuing through Forest, to my knowledge, still hasn't found even in something that would make it no longer foolish, though. Would be most unfortunate if we're missing 2 foolishes for Forest Temple just somewhere in the overworld at this point. And Schulzer long-shotting over to the chest, which has our wisdom piece, gets on the board. In before Foolish, hint and Foolish DC. Yeah. Foolish Force, hint and form. Excuse me.
I believe. Yeah, Schultz has got the same idea. That's the hover boots.
And those are definitely path. Hover boots inside of Forest Temple.
Okay. We know, yeah, that makes sense. At this point, really, that would be a 10 steps, and we know lens would be another step on this, which leads to one more step. Courage. And that could be magic, that could be CL.
But we know that the lens is still on the path.
Yeah.
So I feel like we honestly have our 12 count figured out.
Yeah.
Virgil Dante, Courage is likely in Shadow. Honestly, at this point, I would argue that it's more likely that we have a lens in Shadow to be able to cross the desert, get our ZL, and Courage is just ZL locked.
No, but Shadow's in the Wasteland.
True. So it could be that.
So yeah, I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, so the lens can't be inside of Shadow. Fair.
Yeah, the lens can't be in Shadow. So I'm thinking that you've got lens hovers, and then you know that the hovers aren't for crossing because we had long shot available before or any of the crossings. So it just puts one more thing in the step count, which could be, I don't know. Can't actually be CL and DINs. It can't be like back of Shadow because that would be 13 steps. So
indeed, as noted in the chat, thank you, Virgil Dante. We have DC in Deku Tree, so alas, Slingshot for DC completion is not a thing. And as far as Strength 3 and Shadow, it's a possibility. I am concerned with our path counts, although with 0 courages, I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, we still are missing path. We are still missing hintstones, so it is very possible, Purple, that Shadow is a path location.
Another big chest in forest, as noted by Zaid earlier. This could just be power. It's our lens. So Forest Temple has both our lens and our hovers.
I mean, yeah. This is interesting. I guess we didn't see Phantom Ganon yet on Xavi's side. I imagine he would have done that.
Would think so. And we have all 5 keys, so
yeah.
If there was a key up there as well. Xavi did not do Phantom Ganon. Dankeschön. Just peeked the basement. Okay, I remember seeing the basement, but... So yes, we have Slingshot to lens, because Sling gives you access to the Iron Boots. Yes, because our boomerang that we had to get the Iron Boots for both of our runners is out of logic, because it was from Shadow Temple and Spirit Entrance, so it required the lens to be able to get the boomerang. And therefore, that's why we've seen both Water Temple and Forest Temple being explored, is because, as Zaid had noted earlier, 9 count to be able to get to the Iron Boots fits perfectly. I also will be honest, I did not count keys, and I didn't see Schulzer do Toilet, so I assume he did, and Toilet is a key. But that would also fit if it is not a key for being our power piece. Xavi not already being back in Shadow surprises you? Definitely it's a play you could make. I think Xavi is focusing on the 9 for the moment, and we very could see, because one of our runners left Furores in there, and Xavi is the only one with magic. So it's Xavi who has Furores inside of Shadow Temple at the moment.
Yeah, Xavi just thinks the piece is here, and he's just going to full clear it.
Also, Xavi showing off some very fancy tech, trying to one-cycle Phantom Ganon. Unfortunately, did not quite work out, but not something I can do, so I can't blame him on that one. Or, excuse me, not 1 cycle, 0 cycle. Indeed, still a very fast Phantom Ganon, so can't complain with that. Schulzer continuing in Water Temple, which also very well could have our power piece. But
piece.
On Phantom Ganon.
Never skip Phantom Ganon. I always skip Phantom Ganon, but never skip Phantom Ganon. Okay, and yeah, Xavi's just going straight to Shadow.
Indeed, Xavi a good runner? Who would have thought?
I mean, would you consider buying the magic hint? I guess you just do Shadow. Like, what else could hovers be for, unless it's like a Fire Temple thing? Right?
It's possible. I do kind of like buying the magic hint. The problem is, when do you route it in? But it would give you information of is ZL path, potentially. Because if you have a path magic, you know ZL is not path.
Yeah. Yeah.
And indeed, looks like purple was correct. Straight into shadow was the same way that Xavi was thinking.
Yeah. Either it's here or there's an item here that might help him, I think. That's his reasoning.
And
yeah, magic was
indeed,
the spirit mage, and also the problem with that is that there's 2 keys adult side. One's locked by... unless ZL locks all magics, and then ZL is the... No, but why we don't need... I need magic.
If ZL locks all magics, I am starting to get exceptionally confused myself, to be honest. I believe
we just
magic
don't
was
need magic
specifically
because-
an invisible chest towards the adult hand.
Then we don't need magic, because then it would just be 13 if we needed dins. Like... So ignore me, basically.
Though we could have Wanderer Dins versus Fire Arrows. We do have a big chest here in Spirit, though.
Yeah.
It was on Child Side Vigilante, thank you. Yes, it must have been in the room just past the first child lock door. My mistake, thank you for the correction.
Okay, thank you.
Unfortunately, Schulzer getting the bad news that power is not in water. And a lovely bomb lock bomb bag here in Shadow.
Yeah, I was feeling that the water play was a bit... Just because you know that the hover boots are path, then you can really only do the 2 checks that are not ZL locked at that point.
There. Also, very nice deco nut by Xavi, stunning all 3 of the spiders and being able to just backwalk through the rest. So the little things that I'd never get quite right and therefore appreciate when I see someone else do them.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's even stuff like this. Like, I just don't backwalk through there, even though I don't think... Maybe it's not that difficult, but I just feel, well, I just don't want to die and go back to the beginning, so I'll just do it safe.
Completely fair. And all those little time saves do add up, especially here in Triforce Blitz.
Oh, there's one
So
other
we
option
have... Oh,
to
sorry.
consider was could just be Bongo. If it's ZL, it's the 12th part.
It definitely could. End of Shadow being just ZL locked.
Yeah, I kind of forget that that's... Yeah.
But as you noted, at least you do know that it's not the 2 spiked wall chests due to the DINS requirement being added.
Because we haven't seen 3 path hints, I feel it's kind of a risk to do... Maybe it's not a risk, but to do the shadow clip for 1 check, which is the Bongo, and you still have to get the key as well.
Another big chest. This could be it. Strength
Oh, as
3 in
Purple said.
Shadow.
Yeah, Purple said Strength 3, it could just be here. Yeah, this side feels the right play.
It's a little awkward. Normally, I would not like this play, to be honest, because of the number of paths we're missing, because at least per my tracker, we're missing GTG path and 2 forest paths. So adding Shadow onto that would be our 11th path, but with 0 paths to Courage, I believe that 100% can be correct.
So how does it work that if you end up with a path like with something which has just gives us no path, is that sort of worked? Is it just random in that case, or?
To my knowledge, at most, and many other people are far more experienced this than I am. Meanwhile, Schulzer getting magic, but I think the only requirement is that there is at least one path. It's not even a requirement. It will try to place at least one path to each Triforce piece. However, if it can't do it, say if there's only one item available to be hinted path, one of the other items can steal that path hint first. Because we're seeing the opposite in here, I believe that there has to be at least one path to courage as our longest path. But the number of them, it has to be a minimum of one. It could be just one.
Okay.
We do have an immediate big chest and light trial. Just the one, though, so far. An extra slingshot.
There's our slingshot, locked slingshot, so...
Also, a little bit of time waste here, I think, for Xavi, although I'd be doing it myself. I'm pretty sure ZL cannot fit on this path, and therefore the piece cannot be in this room.
Yeah, I think that's... yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
But again, in the moment, I'm 100% checking that, even if I've thought that through as a runner, because when am I coming back? And I'm going to be paranoid for the rest of the seed if I don't check it now.
Yeah, I think you're right, maybe because of the what we know and where we found those other locations, that just continuing with Spirit and then maybe the right play. But I think the problem is, like, Strength 3 is so tempting. You know, you've got 7 checks there. Oh, sorry, I mean Light Trial is so tempting. With,
Indeed, and since you have Furores, because you always start with
Yeah.
it in these settings, and you've been to Spirit to get your magic, it's not that much of a time loss for, even without the ZL checks, 7 immediate checks.
yeah. Without magic, it's a different.
And we found the piece of Agony Death King. We had a lovely paperweight inside of Path SFM. We are seeing some of the Mirror Shield lock checks here in Spirit Temple on Schulzer's side, which we did not see on Xavi's. An immediate big chest. That seems like a bait Rudo's letter, but good to know that Spirit Temple has our Rudos. GTG
So
did have our Mirror Shield.
I'm not sure if Schulzer has the read or not, but I mean, what could be really interesting is he's gonna, after he defeats this Iron Knuckle, he's gonna be in Shadow Temple. And if he just ran straight to Bongo, I don't know. It's,
He could potentially just skip the entire dungeon. The trick for
but I mean,
Schulzer is he
Xavi's
still
pretty
needs to
close
go
now.
through Forest.
I mean, Xavi's pretty close to getting to the boats, so. And he still needs to do Phantom Ganon. It's,
Xavi, unfortunately, getting a bit of a rough time from the redeads.
yeah.
Another big chest in shadow. And there's the
piece.
piece. GG's to Xavi.
I guess the locks magic or something? No, we don't need magic. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yes. Something else.
Well, and we don't need the ZL, so I think we do have a path magic.
Oh yeah, we need them. we do have a path magic, maybe, yeah. But I guess maybe ZL does love the magic, but yeah, that we do need the magic.
Oh, and we found second magic in Deep Spirit. That is definitely magic locked, so we have a path magic in Spirit.
Oh, yeah, it's path magic, okay, cool.
Hell Knight was kind enough to ask about an interview. We are waiting to hear from Xavi, and we shall see Schulzer continuing on. Looks like to fight Twin Rova.
I mean, I think from Schulz's perspective, we found a lot of things in UTG: strength, long shot, mirror, shield. So there are reasons.
For sure. Also, if our tracking is correct, and I missed it myself, but I always trust my trackers, looks like Spirit Temple does have our Forest Medallion, so it is a song just for completing Twin Rova. You'd love to see the last 3 paths, to be honest. I think I have all of our paths. Let me put this in the notes sheet on the path sketches section for what I have. And it looks like Schulzer is at least pausing for a moment. Xavi has said that he will join for an interview if Schulzer does.
Yeah, I have the same as Naestriel here. It's the hovers. It'll be hovers magic lens.
And looks like our runners are just going over. Schulzer did just forfeit after asking if the mirror shield into letter led anywhere, and was informed alas, no, it does not.
Yeah, you don't want to have to fight Twin Rova for no reason.
Indeed.
I think it was a nice scene, though. I think Xavi played it very well to go straight to Forest, like just knowing the path count. That it was definitely 9, and then work it out from there.
Indeed, and then also having the foresight to leave their Ferrari's Wind in shadow.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think getting that earlier magic than Schulzer did also, yeah, just helps immensely.
Because if memory serves, right off the bat, I was honestly thinking that Schulzer had the advantage, because I think Xavi was the one who went immediate child, and just due to the placement of Minuet, that was an unfortunate decision, but it still worked out by and large. I mean, they won. Clearly, by and large, it worked out. And we are joined here by Xavi. GG, Xavi, and well played. Congrats on making finals.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, GG's very well played. Very nicely done.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I heard that Schulzer wasn't in Forest yet, so he...
No, so like I think you kind of figured out the power path It was definitely
Yeah.
9. It went straight to Forest Temple, and
Yeah.
Schulzer was deliberating on maybe Water Temple, potentially maybe for the courage piece, but I think he kind of realized that water really wasn't going to be the thing in the end. So
Yeah, I think if it wasn't on Phantom Ganon, I would have gone to water and I would have done a couple of checks there. Probably not
Yeah.
the L-Log checks, but all the others.
But makes good
Perfect.
sense. Schulzer, if memory serves. Oh, and speaking of Schulzer, GG's Schulzer, condolences on being knocked out, but well played.
Yeah, definitely.
GG.
Oh, GG Schulzer.
Yeah, I think
GG's.
I didn't get enough path-ins in this seed. That burnt me.
How many did you
Pieces.
find?
And to be honest, on Restream, we only saw 7 path hints. I have suspicions as to the rest, but we only saw the 7
only have
path, 3
7.
unlock.
Yeah, Faust has to be path, like. There's no
Didn't
way
get
there's no
no
Faust
close-ins.
path.
And I
Yeah, I
believe
mean-
so. However, we never saw a courage path anywhere. So I can't swear to it, but the path locations that I have that we're missing are another spirit path, 2 forest paths, and a GTG path.
Yeah.
Maybe needed 2 islands out of Spirit? You only need islands. Don't think you need magic.
You actually,
magic is
we
hard.
found out you do need magic from you, Schulzer, because the second magic that we found was magic lock due to the, at least I believe so. Correct me if I'm wrong on Spirit Temple key logic, because I often am. But we had the lobby fire lock torches as a key, and second magic was on the boss key chest.
Yeah, but what do
Oh.
we need magic for?
You need magic to
Crossing.
be able to cross the desert to be able to
Yeah.
get to Shadow.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, Lens is path.
So we didn't see the shop hint for it, but we do have a path magic.
Okay, yeah, that's the point I was missing. I thought, okay, Strength 3 is the path in Shadow, and that's why I directly went to Inside Ganon's, because I thought I'm missing one step, and it can't be in Shadow.
Well, we did find a strength 3 in Shadow, and
Yeah.
we did think that could possibly be the final path. So Xavi did check that.
Yeah, I knew that
Yeah,
I
at
was
some
one
point I
step off in
assumed
Shadow,
that
but
yeah, I assumed that tower was maybe in how's it called? Water Temple. If if the thanks is not thanks locked, I was like, yeah, this could end up being 9 steps, and I fixated on that, and I hoped that this thanks is not thanks locked, but that ended up not being the case, and it was just thanks to and for hovers.
I mean, water was 9 steps. Just not all checks. Like the L is way higher than 9.
Indeed. ZL should be the 13th item now that we have the full information, but during the race, knowing that, definitely it was in question until Schulzer, you found second magic and spirit, even for the restream, that it could just be ZL was the 12th item, and therefore everything for courage was just to find ZL somewhere, and therefore you could have easily found, as far as restream was concerned, courage inside of Water Temple.
Yeah, like the thing that I assumed is that CL is on a path somewhere, but it just isn't, because it's just to cross the desert and for nothing else. Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to cross the desert to get CL to get through Spirit Temple, logically. Which is quite rare.
Yes, when we saw 2 big chests on Child Side Spirit, all my theories at the start of, oh, you might be able to just use the slingshot to be able to cross the desert in effect and go through Spirit, went straight out the window.
So where
And then
was
unfortunately,
was Temple
Schulzer,
Path?
you found the Kokiri sword within Water Temple, which wasn't huge bait. You only had to check the entrance, but it was just one more thing that Xavi you avoided by just not exploring Water Temple.
Okay, the first temple I missed, I could have almost gotten, was at Big Goron. And I didn't have enough haste to hunt back from the stone. Oops.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Heart.
There's even 2 paths in Forest Temple. One is at and the other 2 are at Source Fountain. Wow.
Okay. Yeah. I think I never entered Gorn City, by the way. That's that's wild.
I mean, it was foolish anyways.
Yeah, but kind of rare that you not even step in there a single time.
Indeed. And Xavi, did you ever check the DC entrance? Not that it mattered, but I think
No.
we only saw it on one stream.
No, I never went in there. Like, I think I was never in Trail. Yeah, I don't remember
Makes
being in
sense.
Trail at all.
Yeah, there wasn't really much reason, especially getting like the Bolero and the Goron City foolish. There was just never any reason to be anywhere near Goron City or Rail, I think, and unless you're looking for hints or something.
Yeah.
The bow is Wanderer because you needed the boss key chest in Forest Temple. I
Yeah,
guess I
that's
could have played
probably
on
so.
that bow Wanderer a bit more. There was just so many things I could have done better in this season, I feel like.
I feel
I
like
actually-
Xavi also had the 2 strength shot hints just to confirm them as path, and I think it just makes it easier just to count the paths at that point.
I just
Yeah,
bought
that's
one,
after
actually.
and thinking that thanks is required for hover boots. That was my thinking, and I was totally wrong on that. Sadly.
Mm. I think that overall, like, because I've watched all three games, and I think like Schulzer, you definitely played like really, really well in the first 2 matches, and Xavi's played well all throughout. So I think also through the tournament, like both of you played amazing, really. So just sometimes you just get a seed that doesn't go the way you want. But
Yeah, I think my early game was pretty sick, but then stuff happened.
Yeah, I started Child, Schulzer. I got
You
7-8
clown.
and I got the valley hint for the hook shot.
I also got the valley hint. I was like, he
Back
never
of
gonna
leg.
get the valley hint.
Oh.
Well,
yeah, because
Adam,
Yeah,
I was
something
saying
fun.
like,
Yeah, I was
saying
talking
before
that bow was required for anything in Spirit Temple and in GDG, and then it wasn't required for anything in GDG.
Did you
And
get
I
the
think at that
lighthouse?
point, yes.
Oh, nice.
I think at that point I should have realized, wait, why is Bow Wanderer? How can Bow be Wanderer in the season? Then I should have clicked that it has to be Forest Temple. I think that could have been the point where I could have beelined Go mode. Like I didn't even need thanks to in the season, funny enough.
Yeah, like just for slingshot. Crazy.
But the other awkward thing with Forest that Xavi, you're avoiding Phantom Ganon kind of helped you with was you need the hovers from Deep Forest, but if you go to
Yeah.
Phantom Ganon first, you find the piece, and without the hint that you need to continue in Forest,
yeah.
I'm not sure you have reason to stay if you find the piece first.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. That's definitely there's just like there's no reason to be in forest at that point.
No.
But
But regardless, Schulzer, thank you for making both Zaid and myself feel better, considering that Xavi has knocked out everyone else that is currently talking from the Triforce Blitz 1v1
I was
tournament.
about to say.
Wow, Xavi! Toxic!
Sorry.
So
Lucky me.
toxic. Look at this guy. Like just
Wow.
wow.
Maybe next year, Schulzer.
Oh, there's a GGG double path in as well. Huh. Wow,
Wait,
there's
what
just
was
so
in
many
the
double
strength?
passes
Yeah, of
in this
course.
seed. Thanks to and slingshot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just made like Triforce Blitz is hard sometimes. It's so complicated. And yeah, my main mistake in the seed was definitely thinking that thanks is required for hover boots. And then I just made the seed. I hoped that the seed would turn out this way. It didn't. So yeah, GG to Xavi. Like I
Yo, GG.
should have won the first game. I'm still on that opinion, and Yeah, unlucky. I got
Yeah.
unlucky the first game, but yeah, I like
True.
he won the third game fair and square.
But GG's, I assume not, because you've had certainly opportunity to ask, but any question from our runners to restream that we might be able to answer? And before we go, any questions from chat for our runners?
Not from my side.
I'm not hearing or seeing anything, so Hell Knight, if you wish to take us away, please feel free.